by 23, you have a good job, you have a car, you have a house, you're married, and then by 25, you have your kids. It's how it's come.
I had a plan, okay? I didn't want to marry someone who went to couple.
Now, all of a sudden, I wanted to do political science because some boy that I liked, today he will know. Some boy that I liked was in the university doing political science.
Young girls who have done family planning, they will go home, and even some go to the extent of trying to remove it with blade.
Hey.
Yeah, from these young girls. Some go to the extent that they follow these girls with cutlasses, one by me, yeah, on the feet, like, and go to the clinic with the girl. He was interested in me. I'm like, dude, you're not working. So go and look for a job. Then you can talk about, relationship, because a broke man and a broke man and laugh. When would you start working and earn and save and marry me and vote?
There's someone who likes you just the way you are.
Yeah.
Find them. I remember growing up somewhere in like primary class 6 JHS. We were always praying to grow up, do you understand? So that we can be in our 20s, enjoy life, and just by 23, you have a good job, you have a car, you have a house, you're married, and then by 25, you have your kids. It's how it's come. So what's this come, oh? Welcome to Spill the Tea Sis with your girl Abena Pacey. This show is proudly brought to you by Marie Stopes International Ghana. And anytime you're having issues with your sexual and reproductive health, that should be your number one stop. Today, we are coming to talk about the thrills, the excitements, and then the risks we take in our 20s. Is it worth it? As a young girl in your 20s, as a young guy in your 20s, should you stress your life so much? Do you usually feel like you are left behind? Do you feel like the world is going on without you? My guest and I are here to just keep the conversation running. So just grab a cup of coffee or like some drink and let's spill the tea, sis.
Hi. So I'm Hetty with MSI Ghana. And I don't think we live once. Like in Ghana, we die and we wake up every single day.
Yeah, I'm also Hazel Drown Ponsa. I'm also with MSI as a midwife. It's a lot.
It has overdue.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's over me.
And,
I'm Nanama, the old one out. I'm not with MSI. I'm alone. Yeah, I'm a marketer. And
Your sister.
and do I think you only live once?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. In our lifetime, you only live once. Yeah. So I go with that mantra that you only live once.
Hetty is saying that
No.
some of us are ancestors. Some of us are ancestors.
We resurrect.
True. We've come back like 3 times. They're still in the same country. We are waiting. Maybe the next time we come, we'll not appear here again.
I know, right?
But like growing up, how did you think life was going to be in your 20s? How did you envision your 20s to be like?
As you were saying, I thought by 25, I'll be married, have a car, live in a mansion, have my twins, like I'm enjoying life. But I'm here. I don't. I haven't even bought a car.
Bicycle tie.
Which ones
You have
have
a
you
bicycle
been?
tie.
When they say adulthood is a scam, sister,
You understand?
Very true. Life is hard.
Life is hard.
But God there, so we there.
Oh, period, sis.
Yeah, so me growing up, one thing I said to myself was that I wanted everybody that knew me to see me and say that, wow, this girl has become, or anybody that came across me and treated me badly, to see me and say that, wow, this girl has gotten there. It has not been that great, but I have really had.
You got it somewhere.
Yes, I've accomplished a lot. Like, if I see myself, sometimes I sit back, I'm like, whoa, this is the Hazel in class who is. But I look at myself and I see that I'm doing it, and we'll get there soon.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you say you were envisioning like getting married at 25. I'm like, hey, I had a plan. I would say I'm someone who like foresees the future. I'm not a seer, but like I like
To vision
thinking.
it,
Yeah, I like envisioning. I like a well thought through plan. I had a plan, okay? I didn't want to marry someone who is a couple. At a very young age.
Your own must be
I
different.
didn't want a boy with a long occiput. Like I was at that age.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure I was at JHS, but I'm like, I didn't want to marry a boy who has a long occiput and all that. What else? Yeah, I was like, I'll be the youngest lawyer in Ghana. And I was always the youngest in my class.
Yeah.
I skipped 2 classes.
Brilla.
I had 2 professions I wanted to be. Either a journalist or a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
My first profession I wanted was to be a lawyer. My grandma told me lawyers are liars, and when they die, they turn them. So, like, you'll be able to. It scared me. Yeah, and then I transitioned I changed my mind. I wanted to be a journalist.
Yeah.
And I was like, as for that, it's my last stop. Nothing she's saying will change my mind. She actually said more scarier things about the journalism profession than the
We need
law.
to see your grandma.
Yeah, oh yes, but I stuck to it. Yeah. And as I mentioned, I wanted to be the youngest lawyer because I was always the youngest in class, and because I skipped 2 classes, I knew by JHS 3 I finished I think 12, and when I stayed in my 10-13 then I went to teachers. So I knew law school how many years? 4. Then
years.
after 4 you go to Makola too. So I knew by 22, 23 I'll be done and I'll be the youngest lawyer. And I think that time this Kantake's daughter was the youngest lawyer at the time. So I was like, I am the
I'm
second
coming for you.
youngest lawyer. And about my relationship, I didn't want to marry early. Looking at all the things I wanted to accomplish, it's like I'll marry around 30 something, and I'll have a house help, and they always used to insult me. They always used to insult me that my house help would take my husband. And I was like, I'll be a very busy woman, so I'll have a house
Traveling around the world.
Madam, no be small tea, No be small tea.
The law,
How far?
the journalist,
The law. How far?
Mercy and GS showed me shaking.
The
The law didn't materialize, but then I did the journalism. I stuck to my journalism, and I studied. I practiced for a while. Yeah, but now I'm into marketing. But I also do journalism part-time. Yes, it doesn't pay. I need the money. No one told me there was no money.
Yes, I think I also have the same experience. I had the same experience growing up. I think my grandfather told me that journalists are poor. So if I become a journalist, I'll not have any money. But I think that was on the side. I had this perfect plan of becoming. I used to like and love Anas so much. So me, like my whole plan,
change things.
Jai. The way I will become like a big undercover journalist, and I'll do this, I'll do that. Hey, I mean, I was even targeting
You had people you were targeting to
CIA, and I just a CIA level. Share. It wasn't easy at all. Like, the way life was going for me in my head. And then fast forward to when I got to SHS, now all of a sudden I wanted to do political science because some boy that I liked, today he would know. Some boy that I liked was in the university doing political science. Political science. So actually, spoke to her. I was like, what's the course about? He told me I had interest in it, and I did the course. I actually fell in love because I always wanted to be someone in society who is like a leader that leads delegations and all of that, like public policy, stuff like that. I really loved it. And then my love for like international relations and diplomacy started growing from there. So even till now, I have like ambitions to become like a diplomat or, do you understand? Yes. What do I say? See, Abrabwa to me actually, left, right, center, marketing. And I'm like, it looks like we are twinning in life. Now, you need to take certain risks. Yeah. So some risk I decided to take, and then some things I decided to learn is what is like moving me towards my career path right now. But like as young people, right, sometimes I think we are scared to take some risks because we are usually afraid of the consequences. You can literally see the journey where you are going to, but the risk that you would take to get there, we usually want the easy way out.
Yeah.
So talking from the perspective of someone who's not a risk taker, I think there's a time you think before you act, and now you're not excused anymore. Say, oh, you're a caller, you don't know what you're doing. You're an adult, you know what you're doing, you think. So like think really well and make good plans.
Oh, but on the contrary, I think that this is the time that you should make a lot of
I
mistakes.
also think that's
No,
the
I
time
don't have
you
an
make
issue with you making mistakes, but taking risks, coming from the perspective of someone who doesn't like taking risks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Media,
Makes
this is
sense.
the time
Yeah.
for you
Makes
to plan.
sense.
You can make your mistakes, you can be adventurous, you can be spontaneous, like I mentioned. But when it comes to risk,
Yeah.
think through. Because anything
Yeah.
you do doesn't only affect you, but the family tree or the generation that
Okay.
would come from you.
I wouldn't say risk. I would say that it's time for you to explore. Yeah. So exploring at that age, if you make mistakes, there are more room for you to change. So you can't get to your 30s or your 40s. Now that's when you come to sit down and plan. Or this time for you to explore this, do this. But that time you can do so much. The energy is there. You are you don't have a lot on your plate. You are psychologically sound. The energy is there, so you can explore so many things. So even if me growing up, I always had 3 professions I wanted to do. Either I be a air hostess, or I'll be a nutritionist, or I'll be a nurse. So my mom always says that you be a nurse because you like taking care of people. So when we were kids, when we are playing and one person gets hurt, I would like to bring you to my house, come and dress the wound for you, and that my mom be sitting on that with the bed of a nurse.
Proud
So yeah. So these are the things that although not me teen them there, but I had to drop out from the nutrition because one day a man told me that nutrition is there. You have to find your own job to do. I was like, okay, job security. It pushed me back. The next step was for me to pursue my nursing over there. So nursing, I shifted to midwifery to do it. So I had that time. You can sit down and then analyze things and then plan. You explore. So can be called nutrition. I think that time I would have more room to maybe shift to do something else. So that time you can really explore. But I won't say it is risk taking, but rather explore and do so many things and then fish out which is best for you. Then you move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hetty.
I think if people have said a lot, I think your 20s, just like we are saying, is the time you have to make risk and make mistakes. I mean, because you have a lot of times ahead of you. Make mistakes, correct them, make them again and correct them. Because you get to a point that you are unable to do anything again. So there is a term in psychology. I don't know if it's right or wrong. There is something like frustration regression. And you see some of these old people, now they want to become kids. Like, it looks like some things they couldn't do in their young age. They are now trying to live up to that standards, but it becomes so late. Society frowns at you because now Papa Pemu na dresses say and Papa Pemu na didn't cry say, you know. So I feel you should have all the fun you want to have, but then be wise when you are making whatever decision. Think twice. Do things that will benefit you. If the thing has a very dire consequences, then you have to really think through that, because as Nana said, whatever you do, think about your generation. Think about the next people that whenever they mention your name, oh, Asimesi, Nana knew. Hey, Asimesi, you know. So whatever decisions you are making, think that there is some people who are looking up to you someday. Yeah.
Right. Me personally, I feel like this is also the time to take risks. I feel like I don't feel like I'm a risk taker. I'm a risk take her wrong. Because even when it comes to a business aspect, if you know me, I will do this business. Messiah, another one. I will do another one. I won't give up. I'll still continue to do till the one that would be a little bit sustainable. Then I'll be going towards that side. Then you see at once it will pass car. Then I'll come back. So I remember sometime with how I was moving between when I was in the uni. I'll sell this, then I'll come and sell that, then I'll sell this. One time I wanted to start a new business, and then I told a friend, I was like, I didn't want
And then
why do you want to smoke? You are just throwing money away because you do this, it will not work. You do that. I was like, but I just had this. There's this idea, right? And anytime I am giving maybe younger ones advice on like money literacy, and I mean I'm quite you can't say. Sometimes I'm not the best, but then when I'm trying to explain something to them in business wise, I tell them that one of the things I know how to do a lot is how to recycle money. I recycle money that the same money would be with me for a period of 1 month, but maybe I would be spending. But then I'm recycling that particular money. So you think that the business is not going, no, but it's because maybe I'm spending the profits in Kwan. So the
Capital.
seed, the capital is still there. So that's what I used to do when I was in the university to sustain myself. So I start a business with the capital. And then when the profits come, that's what I spent. And then the capital is still there. Now I used to go and restock, and then it still be there. So that particular money will be with me all this while. So you think, but the business is not doing well. No. I am spending the profits. That's why it's not doing well. But if I was to be saving those profits, I'm sure like you would have. Yes. So personally, I feel like I'm a risk taker, and I'm not only. I'm gearing towards the life aspect as well. I'm learning to take risk in life. Of course. In my friendships, in my relationship, I'll take risk. Right now, I'm just giving myself that chance to, explore, like make mistakes. Like, do you understand? So right now, first I used to take like a lot of nonsense. Like I used to have a patience for a lot of nonsense. I'll be there because you're afraid to move on. What will happen? Like if you leave, what will happen? Like this friend, you like this friend so much, this relationship, that's all you know. So you're afraid to leave. But then once I made that first move, right now, if it's not master, on to the next. Do you understand? Like you just like I don't want to. Let me go and take another risk and see. I won't be there to try and make something really work. Like take risk. If it's not, let's take the next risk. Let me just go and try and see if this would work. If this doesn't work, I'll figure it out.
Even if you don't take those risks or if you don't explore at that time, I don't think you will learn. You will never learn.
Never.
You will never learn. And then as humans, anything that happens in our life is a way of learning. When you move out of the situation, you learn. You don't go back and make the same mistakes. So it's that time you can equally learn. Because growing up, sometimes you might not even grow up in a home that you have people you are looking at. You are growing the hard way. You are providing for yourself. You are doing things by yourself. So this time around, you make certain decisions, and then you see it didn't go well. Now you better up and come up with a different plan, and then move on. If that one does not work, you add the two. You pick the good one, boom, like that. You do that so you get to that point where you want. So I think it's also a time to learn.
Yes.
It seems all of you are risk takers. I'm the only one talking from that.
Take the risk.
Maybe she's
Maybe
doing
it doesn't work
doing
for
it,
you.
but she has psyched herself that I'm not taking the
risk.
risk.
No,
And maybe
I'm
to
not.
risk-taking
In
haven't
business,
worked for you.
in finance, like you mentioned, I
You're
do a
always
lot of
careful.
businesses. I sell everything. Pasi will tell you from dresses to shoes. Me a low risk girl. My capital 10% is not in any of the businesses. So instead of going for the things with my money, since I said I'm a forethinker, I'll think about it. Now me the misika Now me come here. I don't have the cap.
You rather
So what I'll do is you are my friend and you sell. So send me the pictures.
Let me
I'll
post
post it on my status.
add
my 10
That's a smart move,
cedis.
though.
I am not buying. And I'm a call market into my transportation. Me and delivery into me delivery money so it's
like,
10 cedis.
you are
No.
selling for somebody, but
Yes, my love. I'll come and
an
buy
interest.
from you. So the money is coming to me. And about Honor, when you know number na fe, I can't me na aba straight to you. Or the number straight to you. No. So I'll take my 10 cedis, send you your money. Nipa not ha ni address ni. Or Hiano by Wednesday, deliver mano.
That's a
And I
smart, that's a smart move, though.
Only delivery service.
You know
I
you are
have
smart.
delivery.
She's a smart girl.
I have
smart
delivery
girl.
people I work with. So I have created a page. BB has everything. Human being. I sell everything. So now I've become that person. People know if they are not getting something, come and ask me. Post it doesn't but so I'm that low risk person. One thing I would also say is being your 20s seem like it's a gamble. I think being your 20s is a gamble. Cha-cha.
Yes.
This is the time you make mistakes, but there are some mistakes you can make you may not be able to correct.
Exactly.
So I'm all for exploring and everything. But me being the low risk taker,
You're
I'll tell you,
exploring in a
be
good way.
extra
Yeah.
careful, be spontaneous, be adventurous, but finance how to say like, I mean, because it's a transition from childhood to adulthood.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful.
Just like she's saying, it be any HIV.
Yeah.
If you go and take stupid risk and contract HIV
can you reverse?
for life,
Yeah.
you understand? Right now, there's no cure. So yes, in as much as you're taking risk,
you
you
take
need to be
antiretroviral.
It should
like
be
that, yes.
calculated.
Calculated
It's just like
risk.
that
Yeah.
with me. Me growing up, when I was growing up, I don't know. I have this person. It got to a time I had to pray about it that God should take that from me, because I enter banking halls. You have people to tell you are beautiful. I like you. It's up till now. Even when I'm walking with my husband, you
They'll still
walk into
approach
a
you.
shop and people will approach you. Oh, I like you. I like how you are dark.
Yeah, I like your skin. Me
And
myself, I
yeah.
like your skin too.
When I came to MSI contact center like this, I'll be sitting there. Sometimes you turn around and they're like, I like your skin. And I get that a lot. So I'm like, if somebody comes to me, a guy should come to me and tell me that I'm interested in you. Is it genuine?
Yeah.
If I told myself that if I should follow that, I think I'll be sleeping around with every man I meet.
Yes.
So those are things that you say that you are taking because you say, I'm beautiful. So that time, I'm 20, I'm this, I have this. So you
And in your
now
20s,
you're sleeping around.
temptations,
Yes.
the
You'll be
doors.
sleeping around, you are happy. I'm 20, I'm beautiful.
Men like me.
Men like me and all that. So you should be very careful at that time. Yeah. This is when you are growing
your
up.
prime.
Your body is developing. You look so beautiful, and people are approaching you. Even now, even I'm married. Still, I get people that will still be approaching, and they want to be in a they want to be in a relationship. I'm like, I'm married. I'm like, yes, I still like you. So it's like that.
Hey.
Yeah, it's like.
Now the ring is not stopping people.
No. Sure, they will even tell you. Right? Never say, don't let your
beautiful.
husband stop you from meeting your soulmate.
And please, have you seen those people, like girls? There are some guys who wouldn't text you. This is just by the way. Yeah. But when you post a nice picture, those seasonal people, seasonal people, don't mind them.
Yeah. There are no risks that you should be taking.
Yeah, it's not a big
don't
thing.
be like
now when you get those some STIs can even land into certain things that you would, like this cervical cancers, if you don't treat them, and those times we feel so shy when we contract such things to even go to the hospital to talk about it.
And people don't know
we like to treat ourselves.
Yeah, people don't know you get cervical cancer from men.
Yeah.
Like when
and even early
they carry the
sex.
I don't know if it's a bacteria or whatever
it's a
that
human
causes it.
papilloma virus.
So exactly.
So they carry it and then they give it to you.
So if they have sex with someone who has it, they'll carry it and come and give it to you. And I know cervical cancer doesn't show its head until 10, 15 years. It can be with
before
you.
you can start having the signs.
So girls, if you are there and you are thinking of taking the risk of sleeping
Oh,
with
protect
him,
It's not
Rich men for mind cover cervical cancer. Men for money and all that.
young girls,
many
especially
things. Just
girls
going
who
for
haven't
anything.
entered into sex before,
Yeah.
because cervical cancer, early exposure to sex, you can get that. So please,
You
take care of yourself.
Another way you can also protect yourself, since we've moved to the health side, please get the HPV vaccine. And the mothers out there, especially your young girls, they
the
are
parents,
in,
not just the mothers.
primary, JHS. Please have them get the HPV vaccine so that
mothers.
I heard
Mothers,
something, my
they
midwife, that if you've had sex, you can't have the vaccine. Is it true?
Yeah.
when you go and when you test for the HPV virus and it's negative,
You
you
can
can take
have
the
it.
vaccine.
Yes, at first we used to think. I remember anytime I'm doing education about this HPV, cervical cancer, we always say that if you've had sex before, you can't go in for the vaccine. But I think study has brought it up
proven
that
otherwise.
you can. When you do the test and it's negative, you can go.
Yeah,
in.
once it's
Right.
negative.
But it's good to take it whilst you've not had
sex before. Yeah.
Ah,
Right.
you
Yeah, like
actually-
I like when we are
It
talking.
doesn't stop us from going to taking the vaccine
I
anyway.
like when we are talking like this, and the health aspect comes in, and we are giving advice to the sisters.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we are here, to
Yeah.
spill the tea, to educate you so that you would know. Don't
Yeah.
say we didn't tell you, we already said it.
Yes.
And said it countless number of times here.
Hey sis, do you have a busy schedule? Did you know you can speak with a health provider at the comfort of your home for all fertility and pregnancy options? Give us a call on 0800 208585 or send us a WhatsApp on 0244 208585 to be connected to a health provider.
Do you remember an adventure or a risk that you took? That kind of like, Nana Made, this one, would you say that? I'm not part. That changed your life, either in a negative way or positive way.
A decision for me, it was work. As I mentioned, from childhood, I always wanted to be a journalist, and I found myself in the field. And then I had to transition to marketing. I'm like, I know I sell and I can sell, but I know that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to be on the screens. I want to be making, and the journalism I wanted to do was not just the reading news, looking pretty. It was societal change, going to our neighborhoods, trying to get like their issues out to the light, social change. Not an ass because they told me my grandma told me they would kill me.
Grandma is our favorite.
I'm grandma's favorite.
Shout out to grandma.
Shout out
to Jata.
Jata
Original.
She's everywhere. She's on Snap. She's on TikTok.
This grandma gets swag, eh?
I see her add me on Snap. I don't know what she's doing over there.
need to let us
So not an ass, but bringing about change and helping people in the society. That diploma kind of advocacy for change kind of person.
Yeah.
But then marketing, because that's where the do was, and it was fintech. So, because I learned that's where the do is, and I got the opportunity. It was a scary decision. My family doesn't know this. This one, like, it's a good offer. They're paying you more, go. But for me, it was scary because I know my plan and can't home baby that I would ever like venture into marketing full time, like as a full time job. But so that was a very scary and risky decision. I was like, would I ever get the bravado again to switch back to my passion? But as a forethinker, I've devised a plan. I'll get the dough and start the journalism myself.
Hey, and then one.
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
I think mine will be maybe relationship aspects. We are young, so you are having people you are talking to, like you're in a
Talking stage.
situationship, So sometimes I wouldn't say that it helped me a lot because I needed to make a decision that it needed to be done at that time because I feel like, oh, this person is there, but you see that that's like the person is not really into the thing. You see this person too, the person is not really, and then you see this one too, he's not even talking. It's just there. I'm like,
choose your poison.
Let me choose the indie like that. Because I'm this yabby person. Yeah. So even my uncle even asked me like, "Hey, you pa like this, and then you want this one?"
That's the balance.
Yeah. And I said, "Oh no, if I look at him, he will help me because he's very quiet. I'm this loud person, so and then he will tone me down." So I made that decision, and I won't say that I've regretted. It's been one of the best decisions.
Shout out to our man.
Shout out to
our man.
It's been one of the greatest decisions because he has really helped me so much. Things that I even didn't see myself achieving in life. He's really pushed me there.
Supportive partners.
Very, very.
Shall I find good
Very, very.
May we find one.
Yes,
Amen.
very, very, very supportive. I tell you. Even I'm doing my master's now. He's the one that's giving me the skills. He's a very it's been good. It's been good.
Thank you for this tea. We will learn. We'll learn from you.
So if he doesn't support you, he's not the one.
Leaving.
Period.
And when you say that people's minds might jet towards like financial
Money.
support,
But that's not the thing.
as
Yes.
she mentioned
Emotional.
school. He may be paying or may not be paying, but maybe he would go like, "Oh,
push
won't you
Yeah.
Yeah, he
do
will
this?
push
Won't you
you.
top up
Yeah.
and all that?" There are different types of support,
Yes,
emotional
no,
support,
It's not about finance. No.
emotional
He's
support.
been there financially, but he's that person who has that positive
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah.
Always pushing you to
He
do the
influences
good.
To
you
achieve.
positively.
Yeah, to achieve.
Yeah.
I've seen men that will not even make their ladies go that
Or
far.
maybe
go
our
higher than
masters
him.
also
Yeah.
their masters. No.
But
Yeah.
this one, he's
will
always
push you.
pushing you to do the positive. I quite remember when I was doing my degree, he was the one that brought the forms home one day. Like, won't you go in for it? I'm like, I'm not ready for school. He's like, yes, you are ready, go.
Yes.
I was going to do my degree. I had my baby, the second one. It was 3 months. And I started my degree, you can imagine. But he still pushed. He was there supporting and everything.
And he also didn't force it on you too.
No,
You understand?
no.
He just
Yeah.
Charlie,
Sometimes
very
you
good
need
man,
that push,
no.
yeah.
You people,
Very good man.
So I think mine wasn't in my 20s. I remember when I completed senior high with my brother. My family was like, because we are two, going to senior
Yes.
going to senior high the same time. So why don't my brother go to school so that I can learn maybe tailoring or something? And I told them I'm not meant for tailoring. Not to disrespect anybody out there. I told them I'm meant for school. So it's either I'm going to school or I'm staying at home doing nothing. And my family was like, hey, like who was going to go school? But my church was very supportive at that time. They came in and facilitate things, and I went to school. So looking back, sometimes I'm like, hey, so if I had not gone to school, how would my life had been?
A fashion
designer.
And if you hadn't spoken up
I don't
for
have
yourself,
Yes, if
you hadn't spoken up for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's
so
the
I think
advantages of speaking up.
families families should know, especially for younger people. We shouldn't. I mean, family situations might be hard, but then there are people who need support. And there are people that you can even help them. Someday they'll get somewhere and wouldn't support you. And the people you think, oh, they might be the one that someday they will be taking care of the family. So please, let's invest in our people. Even if you have to sell a Busian property to invest in your children, please do. Because someday it will pay off. Yeah.
Personally, one of the risks I think I took, it was a risky decision. And maybe people that know, when they hear this, they'll not be happy about it. But it was in a relationship that I thought like that was the. Do you understand? Yes. And there was a mistake that I did. Like there was a risk that I took that has changed my life positively. And this is the first time I'm saying positively, because I'm not sure where I am right now. I'm not sure me sitting here right now would have been possible if I was still there. Right? Because in as much as I've always been a very vocal person, I've always been this particular lady that would speak up. People usually say I'm opinionated. Even though I had my opinions, there was a huge aspect of me that was today the prophet is not coming. That was heavily reliant on another person. with his validation, whatever thing. If I wanted to do something and the person wasn't in support of that, I have doubts. I feel like it wouldn't be able to work. It wouldn't be possible. And I was always waiting for direction. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do that. Because usually when I come up to say, oh, I feel like I want to do this, and maybe unless the person sees that, oh, yeah, this is actually feasible.
Yeah.
That person
So
was
you
going
need
to stop. Do
confirmation.
you understand?
Confirmations from him.
I wouldn't lie. If the person thought it was going to be feasible, he would say, oh yes, go for it, and then would push you to do that, right? But then if it wasn't feasible for that particular person,
And you even
it
think
wouldn't
and
work
I
for
feel
you.
like it was going to work,
help,
then his doubt would make me doubt myself, and I
And
would
I'll
just
go
let
for
it go. Do you understand? But that mistake I made, that risk I took, that made the relationship end, changed the trajectory of my life, because now I was alone. Who did I? I didn't have anybody. I had to stand on my 2 feet and then make decisions
by yourself.
on my own, by
When
myself.
no one to validate them for
Exactly.
you.
Not
And even
needing
that will make
anybody's
you explore
validation.
more, do
And now I
things.
started like things that I thought it wouldn't be
At
able
those
to
times,
do on
Rebecca
my
said,
own.
no.
Or I'm not sure about it. So I was like, nah, let me
You
do
just
it.
take a bold
So there was a friend that just came, and then and I'm adding this to the story so that people will know that sometimes when we are saying that there are no jobs or something, sometimes our CVs are bad. They are bad. So that's the reason why maybe. So in me trying to I had a time with myself. I sat down. I was like in deep way. I was praying. I was like, God, like I need direction. Do you understand where to go? Because it's, when you live in a family where after national service, they will try and push you somewhere. Oh, go here, go here, go here, go here. My family was kind of like pushing me towards my grandfather's, like a little influential, so was trying to push me somewhere. But to me, nah, I feel like I wanted
Where they
to
are
move.
pushing you,
Do
it's not
understand?
where you want to go.
I want
Yeah.
to. There was even an opportunity to go and work somewhere. I said, nah, I don't want to. They were like Fanisa. I said no.
That's
So I
Africa
sat
for you,
down
right?
and I was like, if I'm not going to Fanisa, then I need to figure out
I'll
where I
you
would
want
take
to
it.
do, yeah.
So I sat down. I had a conversation with myself. I realized that there were a lot of things that I
coming,
need
running
to
through
change.
your-
Like there were a lot of mental work that I needed to
You had
do,
to work.
change of mindset and a whole lot. So I took myself through that process and prayed a little, tried and gave myself chance. So a friend came from nowhere. One day we were just having a conversation and they was like, oh, Pacey, let me see your CV. I was like, nah, I rate you so high, but then this is your CV. Do you want me to be honest? Nah, it's a 4. I was like, hey, wow. So he took time and then prepared my CV well for me. And then he started asking me questions. So the experiences you've had, what do you think stands out that you like doing a lot? So I was like, I think I've done influencing for people, brand staff, I've been in teams where I'm managing social media. I've done a lot of social media. I was like, so it means that you would do well in like social media marketing and stuff. I was like, okay. So I now went to go and learn about social media marketing and all of that. And then I saw the bigger umbrella, that's like digital marketing. I got really enthused. I started reading online. Like, do you understand? And in that moment, I felt like God was aligning things for me. All of a sudden, I realized that University of Ghana was organizing like some short courses in like digital marketing. I was like, this, do you understand? It's a sign.
Yeah.
I went to register for it. The class was so, it was really good, really intense. And at that time, I had my own business that I was doing. So everything that I was being taught, I was applying it to my business. So that made the learning very, very easy for me.
Yeah.
And during the class, I would always ask questions when they ask who did this. So the lecturer was always telling them that I was taking the process very serious. And then my classmates would kind of and then after I was done with the course, I think even before I was done also, that same friend that came to help me with my CV stuff was like, yo, Pacey, let's try something. And then he applied for a job without my knowledge. And then I got an email. So immediately I saw the email, I was like, did you apply for something on my behalf? He said yes. I was like, hey, they sent you an email. So I called.
Was that Mary Stokes?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was way before Mary Stokes. So
okay.
I called the people. I responded, and then they called me. Had an interview, and based on how I was talking, and then they were like, "Hey, it feels like the salary that we have,
You are above that.
You're above it.
And I was like, oh, okay. That's what you're doing now. okay, thank you, no problem. I was like, this is the vim I needed. This is the vim I needed. So afterwards, my vim just went up, and I decided to learn more, master my skills, the things that I didn't know. I had some interviews that almost went well but didn't go well. All the interviews I went to, questions that they asked, the skills I needed that I knew that I didn't have. So maybe that would have been the reason why I didn't get them. I went to check them, learned a lot of things, and then I got my first serious job, and now I went a little work Accra. And then now I'm at Maristos. Do you understand? So I'm like, sometimes I sit down, I was like, if I didn't take this risk, if I didn't make this mistake, do you understand? Where would I be now? Like, I think about it, I was like...
Then you'll be like how do I put it? A dummy. He'll be...
playing.
Go, let's go, right?
No. So he'll be telling you what to do.
I don't really want to make it feel like it was that bad though. He was very supportive, but just that I needed his personally, I feel like I needed his validation so bad.
When you always lean on somebody to validate you before you do something, you become like it looks like the person is controlling you.
Yeah.
You can't take decisions on your own. Yes. And that is how you have to be. You have to be able to take your own decision. Even when it comes to married people. You don't always need your husband's validity to make certain decisions.
Before people say that you're talking for women. That's the same way the husband also doesn't always need the woman's validation.
The man also does not need a woman to make certain. But it's so good if you guys should sit down and talk about it. It's not like you take your own decisions, he doesn't know you've done the thing.
Yes.
It's good to let the person know about it, but it doesn't mean that there are so many men and women that if their husband does not say go, they will sit down. They will never do. But meanwhile, they could have done it by themselves.
And for people who, in some cases like myself, you actually have the confidence to do things, but then when the constant, it will not work. I don't think so. When I talk, you don't listen. And then I'm telling you, do this. It can shatter your confidence.
I was about asking if there was an instance where when you do things without telling him, he goes like, why didn't you tell me about this before going ahead? Yeah. When they can see that you need their validation, the person was able to tell maybe that this girl, he might not be a bad guy, but if he was, he could go like, go away. Man can't yes. So they can, when someone realizes that what they say means, their words mean so much to you, and you actually follow, it gives that person that kind of, let me tell this girl what to do. And from everything you've said, one thing I have learned, which and I feel other people can also take from your story, is to invest in yourself.
Yes.
Our society, Africa, we have studied the system. It's good that in our 20s, we've had a lot of realization about where we find ourselves, the continent we find ourselves, and what is in store for us, and what our world has presented us. So if life is giving you lemons, make a lemonade. You've gone to school, you've learned political science, you are done. There's no job for you as a political scientist. What do you have? You have over 10K followers on social media. Your mother sells pan or two fresh pan. What's a hot?
Share.
You can't take pictures of the
bread and create a business. You understand?
I don't know I don't know why my
people
stigmatize. Like it's like the days of old where you finish school and you have to go and sit in the office and bow tie and wear shirts. It's over.
There's no money.
And I am so happy that
there's no money.
And I am so happy that the youth are being awake today. They are being woke. They can see that suit and tie. Someone who has been in the government is over 60 years and he doesn't want to go. And even if he's going, there's a queue in his family waiting for him to take over. So you have to start your own thing. Invest in yourself. Learn soft skills. Digital marketing is a big thing now.
Yes.
Learn
women in tech.
The story
and a lot of other things.
The story Pacey is sharing.
It's not
my
just
tea.
They're digesting your tea.
Yeah.
A lot of young people are going through that. In relationships. And some because they don't even have money and they are solely relying on that man. Maybe for you are from a good home, you can provide for yourself.
Antiba.
But for some of these young girls, it is the guy who is doing everything for them.
Yeah, that's
so
the mistake.
yes, and it's even some of the mothers push their daughters. Into this person gains some supremacy over you. Into whatever they want is what you can do.
Yeah.
You don't have a life of your own.
Yeah.
You are living as a reflection of somebody.
Yeah.
You can't make decisions for your future.
You can't make
Even your
anything.
reproductive decision, you can't make
Make
it.
it.
If you want to use contraceptives, it's
I'm going to
when
ask
this
my
man
boyfriend.
says
Ask my
yes.
boyfriend before.
And I've seen
are you being serious
and
with
heard
me?
stories of women who have and young girls who have done family planning. They'll go home, and even some go to the extent
men
of
will be
trying
touching
to remove
see.
it with blade.
Hey.
Yeah, from these young girls. Some go to the extent that they follow these girls with cutlasses. One by me, yeah. Like, and go to the clinic with the girls.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's something that we really have to look at as a society. Young people you have the power to make your own decision. If you in any way are being abused, or because a man has a little power over you, they try to take control over you, please think twice and seek for help.
Yeah, says have a mind of your own. And society, those me, I'm always on
Like,
society.
if you don't have money, you can't make decisions.
Yeah, societies
Yeah.
to a certain degree. Percy didn't have money. You didn't have
Yes,
money,
I
but
didn't have
she
money.
realized where family
she
was
can make
pushing her.
it.
It was not a bad place.
Yes, it wasn't
but
a
she
bad
knew
place
that
at
was
all.
not for
Yeah.
her. After school, I had to stay home to I math, and when I finally passed, everyone was like, maybe there's no money to continue, and they were like, oh, there was this free nursing teachers training. Some man was sponsoring a group of girls, like about maybe 500 girls. He's paying teachers. You're like, hey, I said no.
Teaching is not my thing.
A cousin of mine went because maybe honestly weigh any options and she didn't have a choice. I said no, and it started making her feel bad, like me too. I didn't like it, and they said it, and I've gone, and I'm fine. Kobusa nipa we won't say or jinalawa. And yet I stood on my ground and said no. Because I knew what I want in life, and I knew nursing training was not part. Being a teacher is really good, but I knew that is
wasn't your part.
exactly. I stood on my ground, and that is the risk that would be so scary, because you're like, hey, who can know you?
There's no money there to take you to
It is
school.
not if someone even planned to bring some small money. There was I'll put my money somewhere. I'll only help you again because now you are getting free and you are
can
saying
get
no.
allowance and all
Yes,
that.
so it's very risky. But then I stood my ground. If you're a forward thinker, you plan ahead and you know what you want for your life, and you also, let me be more spiritual small, you know the God you serve that.
And you pray.
You will never carry last.
Yeah.
Sister, you won't carry last. You end up
I have a colleague.
meeting your goals.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have a colleague that they forced her to go to the nursing training, and up till now, ever since we completed school, after her service, she has never practiced. She has never delivered a baby till now.
Because she
We are
didn't
almost
like
in
it.
her 8th or 10th year. She has never delivered a baby.
Is she working at a
She's
facility?
working, but she's always.
doesn't want
tries to
I know
not
when
do
she
it.
hears this, she'll be very pissed. But
Sorry,
You've
we are
not
sorry.
mentioned
she's I've not mentioned, but she's always in the family planning unit, or she goes to the antenatal unit. When you tell her you're taking to the delivery department or the labor ward, she'll fall sick. She can't, because she doesn't like it. Sometimes we have conversations.
That's
like,
so sad.
"Chale mi nyanka, me papa was coming, then I open a cool store." Like, you see, she likes to trade.
Yeah,
She likes
she's
to
a
bake.
trader.
She likes to do this. Like, she's doing spring
That's
roll
hers.
packs. She likes business. But because they forced her to go to the nursing training, she doesn't like it. And she has never delivered a baby. Like, she's always hiding around, you know, that thing.
That's sad.
And because she doesn't want to go, she tries to do her best so that you see that she's doing well. But ejumano inina komaso.
Oh.
So it's really worrying when you find yourself in such a situation. So if you don't like it, open up. I don't like. Nobody will kill you.
I try also
They'll
make
be
sure that
angry, but
try and make sure that
You do it
you
respectfully.
know,
Don't like,
you
no.
know the reason why. It's not
you
that
don't like,
saying
you
just
like
get
no,
up.
come and sit in the house, and then when they cook,
No,
where's your
keke.
plate? The way they
You
push
can't
it
eat.
somewhere.
You can't eat in the house.
Yes. And then I also think that if you have this independent mind,
Yeah.
that you are not depending on a man,
Yes.
Yes.
it really helps.
Yes.
Yeah.
when I was schooling, I did my degree. My husband was the one that gave me the form. But I think my first school fees, because I bought the forms, I got pregnant. I had hyperemesis, I couldn't go. So the next year, I went back to the school to ask them that I want to come back to school. They were almost like, will you come? I'm like, yes, I will come. Then I got to know that you have to pay some of the fees before you can get access, because we're doing online studies and sometimes you go to school. So I was not prepared. Like, I thought maybe it would take me some months. So I was like, oh, Charlie, help me sort out. But ever since then, I gathered the money, and then when school reopens, I pay my school fees in full. I don't ask him that I pay it, and then when he sees then he will send me some money, which I use this one to sort out. I didn't say go and use it for the home. I said this one is your personal money. You see, he saw that I am an independent.
You are trying for yourself. Yes,
I'm trying for myself. I don't depend on anybody. Growing up, my mom had everything that will make us happy, but at times it became very hard. At times, I learned that hard way, because I was not getting everything I wanted, even though the money was there. So I learned very hard way. I didn't get enough money. When I was that time in the nursing training, they will send you like 50 cedis because it is feel that you eat in school. I tried to save that money. I save. And when I came out from school, I had a little money, like I had some savings. So it's not always you are waiting for a good time in your life, or try to be in like the independent woman yourself. Don't really depend on a man because he has married you. He's supposed to provide for you. That's Africa. You say your relationship, man, the man is supposed to provide.
Now the men don't even like that. If you are not a career woman and you are
now
not a support woman,
so unless they don't someone who has made
why should you be in a relationship where the man should be providing everything?
because
babe, I'm going to fix my hair.
Because right now, because you are fighting for equality, so they also say because you are fighting for equality, so they are also telling us that
equality is nice. It's getting it means I'll spend more.
Exactly.
But if I tell you, if you're a dependent woman, a man really respects you. I used to date this guy. He told me that you think like
independent.
I saw that he was cheating, so he's like, you think that these people will marry them? We don't.
Yeah, just play with them.
Just play with them. We are the ones that we want. You know.
But then you add me to the mix.
It's just a. I'm not saying that. I'm
sure
saying that what he was doing was good, but men are people that will look at the independent one and pick.
But one thing I also want to say here. Some people, if they say are independent, you will suffer. Once the cry, they'll never give you. Once the cry, they'll never give you. But you don't spend on
the men.
It's true.
If you are being independent, if you are being independent, does not mean that you should also leave us. Like,
even if I'm a millionaire, still provide.
Passy.
We don't get shilling.
Passy.
I was talking to a friend.
You need a balance.
I think this week and I was talking to a friend. I was like, if you're my boyfriend, give me 1,000 cedis. Don't even mention it in a comment. Like, don't even talk about it. You've not done anything. You've not done anything. It was like, hey, Hazel. I'm like, yes. If you're my husband, you give me 1,000 cedis. Why then? Why? You've not done anything. Because that 1,000 I can provide myself. It's a fine say that no cry me my 1,000.
And mostly, the
things women demand for, we can really provide for.
Yes.
Like now there are some guys when they realize, hey, independence, my
boss lady.
Don't mention like maybe you go, the person is giving you fare or something. You're like, oh no, I've got it now. You
are rich. You're giving me fare.
They don't even know.
The independence I'm saying is not that
a woman
he doesn't provide money for you in the household. No.
Just so many.
Oh no, because some people are like independent.
You are independent in the way that your personal stuff you don't put on the person.
Yeah.
Because if you put your personal stuff on them, they think that they have control over you.
Yeah. Bibi say your hair
like don't do it. Like
it's true. Yes.
That is what I'm talking about. you have to take care of yourself.
Your own
What you're
personal
saying
self.
is true.
But not
It's
like
true.
independent say,
Your cream.
I need this, you won't give me.
What you're
Are you
saying
being
is
serious
true,
with
but
me?
I'm trying to
You have
say-
to provide, Papa.
I'm
You
trying
pro-
to say there are people now that when you start that, it becomes
Yes,
a
anyway,
habit.
what
Now they
you
don't
start to
even
be the
offer.
relationship is what
Exactly.
Yeah, so now
Like
they don't-
especially someone was saying that the girls that don't ask for nothing,
They
they
don't
get
need-
nothing.
yeah.
You understand?
We will ask,
We don't ask for nothing. We get nothing. Let's
We are independent, but
you know,
some-
I
So
have
there
to
is this
figure it
guy.
out.
So there is this guy. I was just telling him. So
it.
he was a friend. He told me that he was with a girl. The girl broke up with him because he wasn't working. I'm like,
Oh.
then you have to work and get money because
This
we
21st
all
century.
we all like money. Every woman loves
Every
money.
woman
we
loves
love it.
money.
Money there is
So
good.
the girl went and he was interested in me. I'm like, dude, you are not working.
The girl price
Like,
gone.
girl,
Like,
let
you
me give me my advice.
You are not working, so go and look for a job. Then you can talk about, relationship. Because
Yeah.
a broke man,
And then
a broke man
woman.
and laugh.
And when you say that, people think it's because
It's
you
not an
want money.
insult.
I am
No, no.
working.
No, it's not
Yes,
because
I am
you want
working,
money.
so you also have
so
to
this
work.
guy
At
started
least you have to
working
be
and
providing
told me
certain
that.
things,
Even
yeah.
if you are not like
Wait,
I'm
wait,
working,
wait,
so you have to work.
the
When
juicy
you
part is
go
coming. I
out,
want to
juicy
hear
part
it.
is coming
He
there.
started working and told me that. Is that me now? He said I don't like broke guys, so now he's working, so he will look for another a woman because he feels that when he's broke someday,
You will
leave
and
him.
I'm like, okay, bye bye.
No, but he didn't know that what you were doing. You were even
I was
helping
helping
him, keeping
you.
him on
maybe
his
you
toes.
motivated him to
Of
even get a job.
course, I was just helping you because no woman will be with you. And so I asked him, if I was your sister, would you be
yeah,
happy
no.
if I was dating a broke guy,
yeah.
a guy who is not working? He's like, no. I'm like,
Eh,
I'm not
eh.
saying it because it's good to dig gold.
for
Many
me.
people
When
say
you
we are
say
gold
money
diggers.
is
What
big,
what should I
imagine
dig
Nancy,
if
you
no
go
gold?
dig
If
out.
tables were turned
Yes.
and the guy
Would
had
you
someone
do that
richer,
same thing?
He won't
You
say
he won't
wouldn't.
come in for you.
I just
Who
want
going
when you
a
have
man
a
who is
better
financially
choice.
stable. Not that I don't like a poor person.
No,
I mean,
no.
I don't even like a poor person. You don't have to be
growing
poor
up
as
myself,
my
I told
man.
myself that I don't want somebody who is so rich. I don't want somebody who is
Who's
also
so poor.
poor. But somebody that
A
I
honey
can,
hole.
you know,
In
that
between,
thing,
you can
yeah.
provide
At
everything
least
you
if
want.
if you're
Because-
poor and you have sense and vision, that at least we
At
can
least
see
we
where
can
you're
visualize,
going to.
right.
Sister.
Do you
You know, there are
understand?
some
Oh,
people
at
who
least-
have the vision,
I used
but
to
they
say
are-
that.
At
now-
least
vision, but they are still sitting
I
down.
used to say that I'm
I used to
changed,
say
but
that.
I'm saying
They are still
Boy,
sitting
you have
down.
a vision.
But I'm
Hey.
saying no. But I'm saying it's not like the person is broke. Like you can
Yeah,
literally
yes,
see
you're
that
not there yet.
the person is not
but
there
you're
yet, but then they are
trying.
trying.
Yeah. Oh,
Such a person, you
Yeah,
should
yeah,
you
all
can
for
give that
the-
person a
Me
chance.
minus. The
But
reason
not
why
me
I will
ashamed
not
cause
date
woman.
someone who is not working is because now I'm working and I'm earning. And my Miss Independent things, if you are not working, then we go out. Now, me who
na
Bobona,
me put
me na me betiana. No. Because I don't care. My independenciness
Hey.
will come out and I'll. Yes, but you should be working because
course.
if you are not working and we are in our 20s, when would you start working and earn and save and marry
your
me
children.
and bro? It's a long
It's a
that
long
Genesis.
process. It's a long
Like
process.
me, I've passed that
You'll be in
Genesis.
your
I've gotten
40s.
to like Leviticus. So
Me,
Yeah.
I was telling someone the last time that sometimes we make life too difficult for yourself.
Yeah.
You are going to.
You are not working,
There are
look
some
at
people.
girl.
Obiani is spec.
Hey, now when you're Juma,
Listen.
so
Obiani
perfect.
is spec. There's someone who likes you just the way you are.
Yeah.
Find them. Do you understand?
Maybe you're not so
This
you're
person
rich
that you
billionaire.
like- This person that you like doesn't like you. There's someone that likes you. Find them. Everybody and their level.
That's how
That's the
God
same way the
created it,
person who is also telling you that they don't like broke boys or something.
They
Another
will
rich
definitely
person
find their
also
rich
is telling
ones.
them
Of
that they don't
course.
like them because they are broke. The world, everybody has been created. Someone has been created for you. By all
Know
means.
your limits, know your lane,
Like,
Najimu.
find your way. What you are
Also
saying?
know a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't
The
like
ones
you, find
that
the
don't
person
like
that
money, go and find them.
Yeah.
Go
We
find
like
them.
money.
Yeah,
Do
he
you
said,
understand?
he said I said that. So
Someone
he's going
doesn't
to
like
find
money.
somebody.
Hey, what's so
I don't know
nice?
using this-
What is so nice that you
A
are there
woman
now?
who is pushing
You
you.
have message. You go and
You have
see
an alert.
some 2,000 be
Ah.
3 KB. Charlie,
And you're there. And
It doesn't even need to be much, but if the person is, you know, that a giver, so it doesn't need to be big.
some
But then
people are
someone,
also stingy. The men,
And I'm
stingy,
thinking,
oh,
some are
stingy.
very
yeah.
stingy.
you know, sometimes there's a notion where
Yeah.
some men feel like, I've heard stories where a man,
Yeah.
right, maybe an elderly man that's like at that point has a little
They
money,
sponsor people.
has sponsored a girl from like SHS to university. The person has completed, and the girl is saying that you're not on their level. First of all, you were trying to groom a child.
Yeah.
You groomed the child got
now
older.
making decisions.
Now
It
they
makes
can make
sense.
their own decision. I don't think that you should, unless, sometimes people kind of like, they do things that they are doing because they want something in return.
Yeah.
You don't know whether the person that you are imposing that on wants the same thing in
Think back,
return.
yeah.
Now, when you don't get the desired outcome, you think that they
The
have.
person has used you.
If you want to help sponsor someone's education, make sure that you are doing that from the deepest part of your heart. And that's when that child grows up and they don't like you, you'll be able to take it. If not, personally, that's not something I would advise you to do.
And they're acting
Why
like
would you do
the
that?
child, as you mentioned, SHS, they didn't have anything to do with hair and now
Yes.
you're like, you were doing
You were
as
grooming
in
a child,
Ghana,
sleeping with a
it's in
child.
Ghana, we
You understand?
glorify grooming and we don't even see it. Some parents know
They
that
know.
this is
They'll
what is
even give
happening.
you to the
But
man.
because they don't have the means
The
to take care
money,
of
yeah.
you, it is allowed. As you mentioned, it's grooming and it's not right.
It's not right.
Yeah, the person was a child.
you
It's
to
a risk
groom a
you
child.
shouldn't
It's a
even
risk.
take.
No.
For both male and females.
people-
There are women
some
who
people-
are also
some people-
sponsoring
They don't do
men.
anything.
Yes.
Please
Like
don't.
most people do not
Some
do
people
anything
even
for
take
free.
care of people to go to the nursing training, like from first year to the third year. Now they finish it like,
finish it,
you are a
marry
taxi
you.
driver, you're not my type.
Yes,
you are
it's
this,
a
you're not
risk.
my type.
It's a risk.
Don't even dream
It's
of
a
doing
risk.
that thing.
Me personally, I feel like this is a risk. So if it's a risk that you know that you can live with the outcome of it, it's a gamble. It's either the girl would accept you or not. If you think about it and you can't accept the fact that this girl would come out of school and say no to me, don't take that risk at all. Otherwise, you do so at your own peril. But don't try and impose it because you've supported someone. So, chinchina, they should. You are also getting
like
something.
also
and
enjoy
getting
it.
something.
Also enjoy
You understand?
Your way.
So
You were
personally,
having
that's
sex with
that's
mind,
that's
But
a
but
it's
particular
never,
risk.
it's never a good idea to
Yes,
do
it's
that.
not a good idea
You are
to
not-
be
you are not
using
the
your money to
no, you are not
sponsor
the
someone.
You are not the person's mother.
Yes.
You are not the person's father. You are not even related to the person anyway.
Unless maybe
So
that's
don't
your
even
wife.
Think.
Do you
It's
understand?
your wife, yes, you
Unless
can
it's
do
your
it.
And even
wife.
your
but
wife
like
can
a
divorce
relationship.
you.
Please don't
And
do
even
that.
if it's marriage,
a
they
no,
can
no,
divorce,
no,
so-
no.
Unless genuinely, that's what I'm saying. Unless genuinely
Yeah.
from
You
the
want
bottom
to
of your
invest
heart,
in
you
the
just want to
person.
invest in the
It's a
person,
no, no, no,
and
don't
you
do
are not
that.
expecting anything in return. But once you know that you are expecting something,
The person's mind might not even be
that's
like
not a
that.
risk that I think that if you're a guy, you should take.
Yeah,
honestly,
you shouldn't do that. Even ladies, don't even.
Yeah, man.
don't
Yeah.
allow
Sponsoring the men.
don't allow a man to sponsor your entire education. Whilst you yourself, you know,
I
say.
think when you finish now, they hold some entitlement
and
on you.
and you know
I
there's
know a friend.
there are
who
some
made
girls that
this, when the
can't
man did
leave
that,
I
and
made
then
you
she's
that.
married to the man now, and then she's not even happy.
happy exactly.
Happy.
So
But now she feels that Papa,
sympathy,
because
love.
do you
they're always
understand?
fighting. They're not happy.
Yeah, because of
Sympathy,
that,
love.
you have to stay there because you have no choice.
Yeah.
Because you feel like that person has done so
that-
much.
that
You
entitlement,
owe them.
yeah.
Do you
You've done
understand?
so much for me.
Any last thoughts on risk taking in your 20s and then the thrill? Any last thoughts on it? Like this something that you should
Take risk. Young people, please take risk.
Take calculated.
But at your own peril. As you're taking it.
you will deal with the
Think.
consequences.
Yeah.
Yes, you deal with the
It's time to
consequences.
explore,
Okay, but
make
enjoy.
mistakes.
Make mistakes.
Good ones. Good
Correct
ones,
them.
and then correct
I
them.
mean,
and then
mistakes. Do we have
move
good
on.
mistakes?
Yeah.
no.
The reason why I'm saying good ones is that you don't do the ones that will give you diseases that you have to suffer for the rest of your life. So you are doing it, even though it's a mistake, but you are doing it right.
Yes.
That's the ones that you can learn.
Oh, what a
from
sweet
them.
mistake. For me, I think. So please, when you are doing it, make sure it's sweet, not something you cry later.
There's a time for you to plan. So think well and plan right. Plan your future because everything you do now and every decision you make will not only haunt you, haunt your future generation as well.
Okay, so
Stand by that.
your 20s, this is the time that you want to explore, have the fun, do all the things, take all the risk, but make sure that whilst you are on that journey, you are applying common sense. This has been Spill the Tea, sis, and it's been another exciting episode. See you next time. This show is proudly brought to you by Marie Stopes International Ghana, and anytime you're having issues concerning your sexual and reproductive health, that should be your number one stop. See ya.